Hey, Randy, you may
Yo.
not know this, but there's been some changes in the Burriss estate. And
Oh,
lately, I have not been allowed for various business reasons, a lot of activity going on, to park
okay.
my car in a garage.
Really?
Every morning when I look out there, my car's got dew on the window, and you got to warm it up. And
Wow.
I'm done complaining. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. Did you also get your they changed the locks to the key to the executive washroom? I mean, you still have that, I hope.
I still have the code. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 pound. Oh, no, I still have the code though.
All right. Good deal. Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina. Back again for another Monday with my friend Teddy Burriss. We're going to get into some trivia. We'll talk some tips and stories and also talk about our next week's guest. But just real quick about me, I'm the director for our professional center for Goodwill Industries here in Winston-Salem, and happy to help you if you're in a job hunt. Got professionals all across the country, but mostly here in our backyard in the Triad. And as a lot of folks are apt to do from time to time, you kind of get the itch to say it's time to make a change. And if you are, find me and we're happy to help. So, Teddy,
Yeah.
who are you? And that's quite a fine looking shirt you got there. Did that bust the budget or what? Isn't that your
I asked for a pay raise and she gave me a new shirt and she said
new shirt instead? Little swag then. Yeah. Nice.
So those
Nice
who've never
touch.
met me, I'm Teddy and I'm a LinkedIn strategist. I'm also a Google Workplace strategist, trainer, and coach. Burriss Consulting teaches LinkedIn as a business tool. We teach Google Workspace as business tools all across the country, here and there and everywhere. Love doing that work. And but I've got to have another outlet to say hi to people and have some
Yep.
fun. So a couple times a week, Randy and I get together and we share some ideas, tips, philosophies, stories, trivia, and we'll also today introduce you to our Wednesday special guest for the big show on Wednesdays, 11:55 a.m. Yeah. So did you do the crack research, Randy?
I did.
Good.
I certainly did. So let's get to it. We cover births, deaths, and events. We mix in a little trivia with it. So if you're checking us out at home, and Teddy, you and I didn't talk this in advance.
Oh,
so
we decided that we weren't going to talk it, man.
This is all new. So Teddy's hearing this for the first time. All right. So on this date, that would be the 26th in 1774, John Chapman was born. Who the heck is he?
He works for you. He used to work for UNCG.
That might be his great grandson, but this guy is better known as Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed. He actually introduced apple trees to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Ontario. So he basically went around and said, I think I'll plant them here. And so there you go. If you like apples, that's your guy, Johnny Appleseed. There he is. 1849, Ivan Pavlov was born.
The dude with the bell?
He is. Before we went on, Teddy was talking about a famous Southern recipe. I won't go into detail, but it was no lie. He's describing this stuff, and I'm picturing it in my mind, and my mouth started to water. And so it made me think of this Pavlov's dog when he rings the bell. And he used to test the saliva in dogs, and there's a chemical change in your body as you respond to stuff. So much for that science lesson. Yep. Olivia Newton-John just recently passed away, but she was born in this date in 1948. All right, let's move on to people who've passed on this date. 1820, Daniel Boone. We all know Dave. Did you know he starred in a TV show? He starred in a TV show. No, that was an actor. But who was that actor? Fess Parker? Was it?
Maybe it was Fess Parker.
I don't know that one. All right, so this guy you'd be pretty cool if you had your first name have an item of clothes named after it. And on this date, this guy died in 1902, Levi Strauss.
Oh, I thought you were going to say jockey strap.
Jockey. But yeah, Levi, a pair of Levi's, that's him. Paul Newman passed in 2008. I had to look this up. Paul Newman sounds like such a stage name. Doesn't it? It just sounds like Rock Hudson.
Yeah. Is his mama named him Paul?
His name is Paul Paul Newman. Yeah, for real. Yep. So yay to him. Events on this date. All right, we're gonna have fun with this one. 1580s. That's a long time ago. Not even you were around then. Francis Drake did something that's pretty cool, and you won't know what that is.
I know the name. I can't remember what it was all
Francis
about.
Drake. He completed the first circumnavigation of the world. So he was the first guy to go around the world. So there's that.
Navigation. That sounds painful.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. I can't swim, so if like the boat tipped over, I think I'd have made it like for 10 minutes. All right, so here's another guy. This is an event. This was patented in 1887 by a guy named Emil Berliner, and he patented the gramophone.
I don't have one of them.
Ain't nobody know what that is. Yeah. I had to look it up. It's very close. It's like an old record player. Yeah. Basically, it's
got the big horn.
That too, but it has to do with how the needle spins versus going around in a tube and stuff. So anyway, before our time, but in case you're ever on a trivia show, you'll know. Okay. In 1890, the U.S. stopped minting coins. There were 3 of them. They stopped
because they want to make bullets.
Well, that could be, but these were gold coins. $1 coin and a $3 coin, and they also used to mint a 3-cent piece back when pennies meant something, right? So whatever, but no more. A couple of shows debuted on this date. In 1964, Gilligan's Island. They're still shipwrecked somewhere. I think they've been making grandbabies by now. I'm sure they're onto their next.
They have plenty of wine and cheese, though.
Yeah, and a Brady Bunch, 1969. All right, so here's the fun trivia one for you.
All right.
The event happened in 2004. Ed Whitlock, a name famous to his mom and dad, and maybe 1 or 2 others, became the first person over age 70 to do this.
Pole vaulting.
And a hint, he did it inside of 3 hours. And it's not
hot dog eating.
It's not, picking out his ear hairs and all that. But no, he did a marathon under 3 hours. The dude was over 70.
Yeah. And
under 3 hours. So man, that's awesome.
I want to see the video. I'll vicariously go with him.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something at that age? So the effort that takes. Hey, quick story for you. Birthday for me is tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So if mine was today, I'd be at the top of that list for famous birthdays on this date, but I missed it by a day. So you have to settle for, people like Johnny Appleseed, but yeah. So
anyway, a milestone birthday?
No, not really. It's just, It's kind of in the middle somewhere of stuff, but
43rd, 44th.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They come quicker than they used to, it seems like. And I'm not sure if that's scientific or not, Teddy, but you're my peer and you have reviewed it. And so if it's peer reviewed by you, so officially they happen more quickly. So take the time to enjoy what you can in life. Not every day is a happy, big time, everything, a lot of mundane days, but a lot of this is your mindset and how you proceed. And I know people who are, have essentially died years ago, even though they're still living, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And on the flip side, people like that dude that's 70 and he's cranking out a sub 3 hour marathon. He's not sitting around on his keister all day, I tell you that. So much for that, Teddy. What you got? What's your story?
Here's my story.
Yeah.
I went traveling in the last week. You and I didn't talk. We haven't talked in 6 days.
It's been a while.
Yeah. You sent me emails and I ignored you. But
my attorney will be in touch.
Yeah. Travel. I went traveling. I went from North Carolina to Maryland, from Maryland to Fayetteville. There's a Fayetteville, Pennsylvania.
No, I didn't
went to Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. Then I left Pennsylvania, came back to another part of Maryland, and then I drove to, where was it? Someplace off of Ladysmith, Ladysmith, Virginia. Then I went over to Lynchburg, Virginia. And I got home Monday night, really, really, really late. But I went traveling, but I had to blast, Randy. I went and saw people and talked with people and caught up with people. And I'll tell you a little story, a little tip later on. Right. But, for me, it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to do it again one day. Yeah.
Well, good deal. Good deal.
Right. So here's our guest coming up, our special guest.
Yep.
Good friend of mine. I've known her for years. Her name is Janae Adams, J-A-N-A-T, Janae Adams. Janae has a public speaking business. She travels the country and she speaks to college students all about debt management. And her story is about how her and her husband with 2 kids figured out a way to bust butt on getting rid of $50,000 worth of debt, but did it quickly, didn't do it over a long period of time. So, so she shares this story and she helps people understand that you too can do it if you just put your mind to it. And I'm not bringing Janae to the show to talk about how to do that. We're bringing Janae to the show to talk about how to become a speaker, how to get paid as a speaker, how to get paid as an author, how to get paid to share your story. We know a bunch of other people that do this as well. Kevin Snyder is another buddy of mine in Raleigh that does that. So it's going to be a fun show to talk about, hear her story about becoming a paid public speaker, a paid author, sharing her story. So 11:55 a.m. on Wednesday, join us with Janae Adams. So I'm looking forward to hearing her story.
Yeah, and she has a compelling story to tell about the money saving, but then also, and I hear this from time to time, people say, I think I've got something to share with an audience, whether it's speaking or a book or whatever, and they just don't really know how to go about pursuing that. And so it just kind of sits there on the shelf a little bit. And I think this might help unlock or inspire people to say, hey, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it. Why not? Right? Why not give it a go?
Yep.
So there's that.
Cool.
I've got a tip to share, and this is as much a life tip. I'm your life coach now, Teddy. Did you know that? Yeah.
Do I have to pay you?
It's free, man. It's advice. It's worth every penny you're paying for. But it deals with this. We all deal with people, whether in business or in our personal life, and life has challenges. We all face challenges for different reasons and different levels of severity and all. But I think one of the things that we need to keep in mind is to be a good listener. And so often we're not active listeners. We kind of hear things. We say, okay, well, as soon as he breathes, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in with my 2 cents, because my 2 cents is pretty important. But I think showing some empathy and saying, hey, I understand how you, I think I understand. I'm trying to understand how you feel. And let's work together to try to solve this as best we can, versus saying, hey, listen, I'm the authority guy here. So if you just sit back and I'll vomit all of my wisdom on you, then the life will be better. And they don't want to hear it. They're not ready to hear that. I think it's just something that you've got to just be a better listener. Let them know that you care.
Yeah.
And when they know that, and they know that you're invested in their success, I think they're going to be a little more apt to listen and take to heart some of the things that you say, because you're saying it with good intentions.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. On my trip last week, I used this phrase, or heard this phrase, because I was talking to family and I was talking to friends. And often we were talking about what's going on and what's happening. And you hear this phrase all the time, Randy. We say it all the time. I don't know what his problem is. I don't understand why he's doing that. I don't understand X, Y, Z. I don't understand. And if you say that with a period, then often it makes you think about, well, maybe I need to understand. Maybe I should try to understand. That in the context of what you're talking about, that I heard that all weekend long, and really got me to thinking I need to be more of an active listener and ask questions. So, all right, here's my tip. Besides that little rant, stay in touch with your weak ties. I went on a road trip and I went and met people that I've known for years. Some of them I haven't seen for decades. Mm-hmm. And along the way, I discovered a lot about these people. And in the context of business and career, I'm not looking for a job. Don't tell my wife. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not trying to start a new business or career, but I met people who know people that I need to know. And more often than not, if we don't stay in touch with the people that we've known for years, who know us and we know them, we miss out on discovering who they know that we need to know. Stay in touch with your weak ties. Yeah.
Your weak ties. Good advice, Teddy. Appreciate it. Always good to see you, my friend. And
Yeah, man.
we'll reconvene this on Wednesday.
Well, let's pick back up Wednesday, 11:55 a.m. Join Lunch Conversations of Randy and Teddy. Our special guest will be Janae Adams. And I can promise you it'll be fun, enlightening, enjoyable event. I'll see you later on, buddy. You take care of yourself.
All right. See you, Teddy.
All right,
Bye.
bye.